Yes, indeed. It is the WWE Clash at the Castle Scotland post show on the Ringside Report Network.
Start.
Do 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 do. Yeah, Johnny.
What's up?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, it was a nice little show we had in the afternoon, but it's only the start of the day. Feels like there's still a lot more to come. I mean, Italy won. That was fantastic. France still no wins. Collision's going to be on later on. You got Chael against Anderson. I mean, it's only the start of the day. I mean, I hope you have more energy.
Yankees, Red Sox.
Only getting going.
Yankees, Red Sox. I'm just waiting for the Yankees game at 7:00. That's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, that should be good too.
And I'm probably gonna watch some UFC.
You said it wasn't going to be that good, but okay.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna watch UFC because it's on, and I like UFC. What are you watching?
No love.
Soccer's
no love
over
for
though,
Anderson
right?
Chael, I guess. No, yeah,
Anderson
Italy
and
won.
Chael? I don't know. We'll see if I can find it. We just watched Clash at the Castle. Could we chill out about that, John? Did you watch soccer today?
I got the highlights of Italy, like them scoring, and like they almost got scored on at the end. It was pretty close, but fantastic. Italy won.
They beat Albania, right?
Yeah, well, still, a win's a win.
What
You
was
got
the
to take all
score?
the points you can get. 2-1.
2-1.
So
All right.
you're like unimpressed here or something. Like, a win's a win, man.
I guess. Yeah, that's good. And he threw that in. France is winless. They haven't played a game yet, right? They start Monday, no?
Well, good luck. Hopefully, you know, for your sake. Wait and see.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox, though.
No.
Notice he doesn't want to talk about his Red Sox and what the Yankees did to them last night.
The 8-1.
Yeah, they smashed him last night, and they're going to beat him again tonight.
Is it Rodon?
Rodon.
Oh, Rodon. Let's go.
Who the Red Sox got?
Remember-
Nobody.
I think the most important thing is what's happened lately in the playoffs with them. I feel like the Red Sox have won most of them recently.
Not overall. Overall.
Not
Yankees
overall,
are
but the
way
more
up.
recent ones.
Doesn't matter.
The recent ones, though.
Doesn't matter.
Recent's always important.
Yeah, recent is important. Like, who's the best team right now and who's not? How about that?
It's a long season.
Yeah, it is.
Long season.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of losses for the Red Sox all season long. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Doug Hepburn, Jimmy James, Leor, Angelo Contagonis, Ryan Katz. My goodness, everybody's in. Everybody is here. People are giving their scores on 10 already. WWE Clash at the Castle. Shocking finish. Not that shocking, but, you know. You wondered how they were going to pull it off, what they were going to do. Were they really not going to give the belt to Drew again? And, yeah, they did it again.
Yeah.
They did it again. Drew does not get his moment once again. In Scotland this time, his actual home country, not Wales like the last Clash at the Castle where he lost to Roman Reigns. Once again, Drew McIntyre does not have the moment, and the fans at the end of it did not seem very happy. What a turn of events in the main event of WWE's Clash at the Castle. And, of course, this was the main event. No other match could have closed the show, despite what Johnny North may have told you a couple weeks ago. Hey, John, I mean, come on. John wanted Cody and AJ to close this show. It was the best match on the card.
The best. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but the Drew and Damian Priest match was what this whole show was all about, right?
I mean, Cody's reaction was insane. Like, I would say that match or possibly was even better than Drew's. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, I think it was. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I think that was the best match that we saw this afternoon. That Cody and AJ match was fantastic. So Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore on Damian Priest, has him down, done, Priest had kicked out of a Claymore before. Drew kicked out of the South of Heaven chokeslam deal. The referee, though, had jumped out of the ring to avoid the guys running in the corner and then got accidentally bumped off the apron. Referee Eddie Durango, who they made sure to tell us about.
That's his name.
They kept saying, Eddie Durango. I'm like, who's Eddie Durango? And they were like, oh, it's the referee, Eddie Durango. And then Eddie Durango took a bump. Quite a bump off the apron there. Went flying. Did Eddie Durango. I wonder if that's his real name. Eddie Durango. It's just fun to say.
I mean,
Great
Michael
wrestler
Cole's not even his real name, so I doubt it.
What?
Frankly.
Yeah, no, Michael Cole's not his real name.
I didn't know
Oh,
that.
it's like Sean Coulthard or something like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My mind
they
is
Work
blown.
name.
Sean Michael Coulthard.
Oh. How's just Michael Cole? Just
Eddie Durango, WWE referee. What's Eddie Orengo?
Oh, Orengo.
Wait, is that his name?
I guess we've been hearing Durango.
Eddie Orengo is what they're saying. His name is not Eddie Durango?
Orengo's still pretty good.
Eddie Orengo. It seems to be his real name.
Oh, he's got Instagram.
He's got an Instagram. His Instagram is unintentionally hilarious.
She's like, hey, get out.
Hey, it's
Hey,
me,
it's me.
referee Eddie Orengo. And look at the caption on this photo. In the words of the boss, Glasgow, are you ready? Eddie Orengo.
He's ready.
He's getting ready. There he is, referee Eddie Orengo.
I think he's my new favorite referee.
Oh, he's my favorite referee for sure.
If next time I go to a show, I'll be like, oh, Eddie Orengo.
Eddie Orengo. Every time I see him from now on, there's going to be Eddie Orengo chants.
Well, actually, Little Nate's my favorite referee.
Yeah, Little Nate.
Yeah, I was gonna
for sure.
say.
Little Nate.
Yeah.
Okay, my second one.
As long as Charles Robinson is in the business, he's the favorite referee for sure. But Eddie Orengo is coming up on you, Charles. Get ready.
Yeah.
It's
Step-
Orengo
step up.
season. What a bump from Eddie Orengo tonight. And, so he fell down. So there was no referee when Drew hit the kick again. And a man showed up in a referee shirt, and it was clearly CM Punk, but the camera was trying to, like, avoid showing you that it was Punk, right?
Uh-huh.
And the man counted 1, 2, and then stopped counting even though Priest hadn't kicked out or anything. And then you saw it was CM Punk, and he was like, it's only 2. And then Drew got really mad, and he grabbed Punk by the scruff, and he pushed him into the corner. And then CM Punk kicked Drew right in his balls. And then Drew turned around and got hit with the South of Heaven from Damian Priest. And then Punk left the ring. And who came back in the ring? Eddie Orengo. And he counted 1, 2, 3 for Damian Priest to retain the world title in a hell of a match and a hell of a finish. And the crowd was in shock. That one guy giving CM Punk the double birds, just flipping him off in the front row as Punk just kind of stood there. And then Punk found some guys with CM Punk shirts, and they were hugging him as he kind of laughed and looked at Drew. It was quite a scene at the end of Clash at the Castle. Most of the fans looking really upset. That one guy in the Scotland 316 shirt who was standing behind Punk and those 3 guys, like, he was
Quite
just
the scowl.
He was looking at them like just pissed. Like you could tell there were some pissed Scotsmen and Scotswomen.
Lads
Are
and
they?
lasses.
Are they?
Lads
They're
and
Scottish?
lasses.
I don't know.
Lassies.
Scott people. The Scots. There were some angry Scots out there in Scotland tonight. They were not happy when Drew failed to win, and I think that they thought, like I thought, that he was going to win. I think a lot of them thought, yeah, okay, he didn't beat Roman, but he's going to beat Damian Priest, right? This is going to happen here, and no, it didn't happen. Punk screwed him and got booed out of the building. They were pretty mad at Punk. I was surprised they had Punk pull such a heel move. It was a very heel maneuver, and it's not just for the fans in Scotland, but really in all of wrestling. I mean, Punk came in there for no reason with a referee shirt, didn't count to 3.
Yeah.
A babyface would count to 3 and be like, now I'm going to challenge you for the belt because I'll take it from you. But no, he didn't do that. He just kind of distracted him. Punk screwed Drew.
Yeah, he didn't attack Damian in
And then
any
he
way.
kicked him in his penis. He didn't even give him the GTS or anything. He didn't nobly attack him. He gave him a low blow.
Yeah, below the belt. Yeah.
That's a cheap heel tactic. And he did it in the guy's hometown. And he did it to help a guy who is more of a heel than Drew is currently. So I'm surprised the WWE went that route with CM Punk. I thought they were going to have Punk try to screw Drew over, but have it backfire and work in Drew's favor, and have Priest lose the belt. Because I didn't think that they would want the Scottish crowd to just hate CM Punk, but apparently they don't care. I was a little surprised by the move, a little surprised by the finish, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm glad.
It was not what I expected, but I'm not mad about it. I'm like, oh, okay, they went the other way. Cool, I get it. Priest has only held the belt for a couple of months. It's not really his fault that his run has been lukewarm. It's been kind of, but it's not fully his fault. So let him ride with it, at least till SummerSlam to face Gunther. Okay. I don't know if I would have done that, but they do a lot of things that I wouldn't do. So it's fine with me. The match was really good. The finish was, interesting, surprising, not horrible, not like, it didn't make sense. It all made sense.
Yeah, definitely made sense.
I thought the match was really good. It was a good main event.
If Punk counted 3 for some reason, would that count because he has a ref shirt on?
I don't know. I think yes, though. I think yes. I think it's wrestling, and if you have a referee shirt, you are a referee.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. John, you're a professional wrestler. You could tell us the rules.
Yeah, I think as long as you put the shirt on, it makes you a referee. It's kind of weird, but that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah. As long as you have the official shirt on, with the WWE logo on it, who are they to refuse? He had the pants, too.
Yeah. People should be trying to, strip referees of their shirts, mid-match. Someone's, for a Damian Priest match, Finn Balor, takes off Charles Robinson's shirt, puts it on. It's I'm the referee now.
Yeah, they should do
They've
that.
done it before.
Have they?
They've done that? Took a referee's shirt off mid-match? Shane, maybe?
It's happened before. I feel Shane's probably done that. Definitely Vince probably did that before in the past.
Yeah. Well, Vince, he owns the company. He can kind of do whatever the hell he wants, pal. Well, not whatever the hell he wants. Now we gotta, clearly not whatever the hell he wants. That's what cost him.
Did you like the call to do on that one when Punk hit the low blow? They're like the balls of CM Punk.
Yeah,
and that's all we got from Michael Cole when he said that. Nothing to follow up on that. How dare he do that? Just the balls of CM Punk.
Yeah, it was weird.
The fact that he would kick somebody. I think Michael had an idea of what to say and realized he said the wrong thing or the wrong person.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to say the balls of Drew McIntyre, but that would have sounded weird. So he said Punk instead.
Cole did that a couple of times during the match. He kind of mixed up the names. He's like, oh, Damian hits Drew and Durango takes advantage. It was like, what? It was
Durango?
It was really confusing. He said a couple things during that match where he was just mixing up the names. It's a lot of work for Michael Cole. He's working all the time. I don't blame him. But I thought the match was good. I thought this show overall was pretty good. Let's see some scores on 10 in the chat. What do y'all think about WWE's Clash at the Castle? On 10 overall. I'll run down what we saw tonight. Of course, we'll go match by match. But just quickly, we had, of course, Damian Priest retaining the world title in the main event just over 20 minutes against Drew McIntyre by pinfall after the South of Heaven and a CM Punk low blow. Bayley got the win over Scotland's own Piper Niven to retain the WWE Women's Championship. Sami Zayn retaining the WWE Intercontinental title with a win over Chad Gable. Gable getting no help from Otis or Maxine. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn becoming the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in a triple threat, taking the belts from Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and in that match as well, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. And in the opener to Clash at the Castle, we saw the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes win an I Quit match and retain the WWE Championship over the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Overall, score on 10 for me is solid. Like, I would say a 7.5. I'm bordering on an 8 because it was pretty good. We saw a couple of really good matches. It's just kind of in the middle. It wasn't the best. Like, it wasn't the most exciting. I thought the two men's world title matches were great, and everything else was fine. You know, not exceptional. I thought Cody and AJ was exceptional. Priest and Drew was exceptional. I thought the women's triple threat was kind of a mess. I thought Sami and Chad dragged a little bit. It was good, though. But I thought it was a little longer than it needed to be. And same for Bayley and Piper. Like, I lost interest by a couple points. So overall, I'm going to go 7.5 on 10. It was good, but not, yeah. I'm thinking, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to give it an 8.
All right.
I thought it was, because I didn't hate Sami and Gable. I thought it was good. I just thought, like, do it or don't.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, come on, do it or don't. Like, get it over with. It was too much. Like, oh, am I gonna attack? Am I not? And then Otis, like, don't do it. And there was just so much of it going on that it kind of took away from. Is this still a wrestling match? Like, what is this a story? It kind of there was a little too much of it. Like, I didn't think Sami and Chad did a ton of wrestling in that match.
Yeah.
I think there was a little too much time for the drama and the whatever. And I got a little bored by that. But the match itself was good, and it wasn't like the drama stuff was bad. Like, they needed to do it, and I get it, and I'm into it, but that's it. It took a little too long to get the point across. Bayley and Piper too, I thought they could have cut that match a little bit. It was whatever. I never believed Piper was going to win, especially after Alba and Isla had won. It was like, well, come on. Let's go. And at that point, it's like, well, we've seen a bunch of wrestling. We know the next match is the main event that we really want to see. So it's hard to care about that match at that point in the card.
Yeah, maybe they could have almost swapped them.
Bayley and Piper were put into a bad spot. Swapped what?
Both of the women's matches, so Alba and Isla get that big pop.
Yeah.
Going in, and the crowd stays hot going into Drew.
That's probably, 100%. That probably would have been a better idea. Yeah.
But
they like to do that. Sorry, John. It's just they like to do that kind of lull match before the main event. They bring you down, let you relax, and then they bring you back up so you're really hot for the main event. It's got its pros and cons. But I think it kind of hurt the Bayley-Piper match. I don't think the crowd was as into it as they could have been, and I was just not that into it at that point in the show. Overall, though, 8 on 10. Good show. Very good.
I'm going to go with 7.5. About that. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the both of the men's championship match. I'd say Cody and AJ is my match of the night as well. Probably have a consensus on that.
Yeah.
I liked the Bayley-Piper match. I thought, like, Piper had some really good offense in there. But, yeah, just there was no expectation that she was going to win. Like, it didn't really feel like it. Yeah, the women's triple threat tag team match was a bit of a car crash. We'll definitely get into that. And, yeah, Sami and Chad, yeah, just a lot of long shots on, like, Maxine and Otis, like, emoting. And, like, they're not, like, they have a bit of it, but they're not, that captivating. Like, they don't have that much emotions and things. It's a lot of the same kind of
Otis
things.
is just doing the same face for a long-ass time. And
Maxine's
I'm like,
just kind of, like, looking scared and
worried,
Gable, like,
the thing is,
it's not much.
There was a lot of Otis, like, staring at Gable, Gable staring at Otis, and then waiting for Sami Zayn to run off the ropes, run all the way back, jump over the top. It's like there was too much waiting around, just like waiting for the guy to do the next spot, because everything it's staged with action. You know, like you got to do the stunts and you got to do the like emotional acting at the same time. Yeah. And if it's not timed correctly, it kind of goes, why are you just staring at each other for so long? Oh, because a man is about to fly through the sky. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
It breaks the illusion.
Like, it's hard to pull off. I don't blame them, but it's kind of like that style of a match, when not perfect, can be like, why are they just standing there? What's all this acting here? Can we get to the wrestling? A lot of
Roman Reigns matches were like that, too.
Yeah, a lot of Roman's matches are like that, but Roman
is better
at doing it. Yeah. You know? A lot of his matches became like that because they figured out, like, oh, this is the best way to have his main event matches. This is what he does best. Like, the action and the wrestling and all that stuff, that's not really his thing. Like, the Sami Zayn Chad Gable match they did in Montreal on Raw was better than this.
Yeah.
Because they wrestled. This was not so much wrestling. This was a lot of acting. And I'm not so into that. We're seeing scores on 10 in the chat before we get to Johnny North's score on 10 for Clash at the Castle. I gave it an 8. My brother over here giving a 7.5. Doug Hepburn in the chat says, can't believe they did that to McIntyre. I had chills when Drew came out to the Pipers. Very entertaining show, though. 8 on 10. Ryan Katz says, much better than King, Queen of the Ring. He gives the show an 8 on 10. What else? Antoinette says 7. Still have to watch it all, but seen some highlights. All right, maybe you'll give it a higher rating when you see it, or maybe you'll give it a lower rating when you see it. You know, who knows? But she gives it a 7. DJ Bourne, he says, I give the WWE Pop 8 on 10. So a lot of high scores for Clash at the Castle. It was a very solid show. Very solid from WWE. Antoinette also gifting a membership. Thank you, Antoinette. Gifted a membership to Jay Glasnovic. Welcome to the team, Jay. Another new member. A bunch of members in the chat right now. There's Patrick Deneau, who's a member over on membership.ringsidereport.net. You can scan the QR code on your screen to support over at membership.ringsidereport.net, or you can join over at join.ringsidereport.net on the YouTube channel, join.ringsidereport.net, like Ryan Katz and Antoinette and Jimmy James. And Leor, who says Jade is horrible. I think that's a mix between horrible and awful, which is, I think, very bad. Antoinette says Jade botched so much, and I see one of them turning. Doug Hepburn, of course, member of the team out in Kingston, Ontario. Angelo Contagonis out in Laval. What's up, Angelo? Good to see so many members here on a Saturday afternoon. Antoinette gifting another membership. Larry Daigle picking up a membership. Welcome to the team, Larry. Seeing a lot of new names here. Larry's in the chat.
Larry's in the chat.
I love it. So shout out to Larry and all the new members joining us. And Patrick Deneau says, got to support the team. I think that's a David Putty reference. I don't know if it is or not. He says, got to support the team. But when I see those words put together, I hear, gotta support the team.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. We're the Devils. The Devils!
You suck, Messier!
Oh, it is. Thank you, Patrick.
You suck, Messier!
Gotta support the team.
Oh, that's classic. El Diablo!
Messier! Let's go, Devils!
Devils won the year after that. Just that year, not so much. Yeah, 94 they lost, but 95 they won.
Won the Stanley Cup, yeah.
Yeah. This year, none of them.
Up top.
It'll be Florida.
Down low. Too slow. Oh, I love that guy. Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Great comedic actor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Clash at the Castle, John. We we saw Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles open up this match in an I Quit match. It was the longest match on the card, 27 minutes, 45 seconds. Cody Rhodes retaining the WWE Championship. Hell of a match. They hit a bunch of crazy moves, including a double superplex thing where they spilled out to the outside. It was, the double vertical suplex. One guy does it.
Yeah.
Kind of
like
spill
Brett.
out. That was nasty the way they did that. What's that called?
It's pretty much just the suplex to the outside. It's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, but it's not a suplex to the outside. You know what I mean? It's like the vertical suplex teeter-totter over the ropes, It's nasty.
Pretty much like it's a Stampede, like original kind of thing. That pretty much came from Stampede Wrestling, if I'm mistaken.
It's a very cool move. Cody was bleeding. Cody's neck got smashed into a chair. There were kendo stick shots, belt shots. AJ took off his belt, started whipping Cody with it. Cody took a beating in this match. Did Cody blade? What exactly happened, do you think, to cause the blood?
I mean, it looked like he had some sort of gash on him, though. He had like a little bit of a mark, but I don't think it was a lot of blood.
Super chat.
So I think so. I think AJ bled too. Like there was a little bit of like they felt that AJ bled because the steps at the end, but I think he was already bleeding before that. I think AJ may have bladed when he went through the table, which I think was the best spot of the whole match, is when he went for the phenomenal forearm, got hit, and then fell through the table.
Yeah.
I think AJ was bleeding after that.
Dude, that was crazy. That was nuts. Like, AJ's got Cody beat. He's got him in handcuffs. He's smacking him with a chair. He got in his mom's face. And then he goes for the phenomenal forearm, gets to the top rope. Cody grabs the chair that he was just beaten with, throws it at AJ. AJ flies off the top rope to the outside through a table, takes a flat back bump through that table. That was crazy. Like,
Yeah, that was the spot of the show.
what
Yeah,
the?
it was nuts.
It was nuts. The fact that he's still doing this stuff at his age is also nuts because he's been doing it for so long, and he's in his like mid-40s now. Still just killing it. That was crazy. That's not a bump I expected him to take. Shocking. It was incredible. That match was so good. They did so much. They got Mama Rhodes involved. Mama Rhodes went all the way to Scotland for this. AJ got in her face after he had Cody handcuffed and just down and beaten to death with a kendo stick. But Cody wouldn't say I quit, right? So then he gets in the mother's face, who's ringside, and we poked her in the chest. And then she slapped him 3 times in the face. And then AJ goes for a chair, and he goes to Mama Rhodes, and I'm like, oh, shit. This is crazy. And I thought AJ was going to threaten to hit Mama Rhodes with the chair while he had Cody handcuffed and be like, yo, say I quit, or I'm going to hit your mom in the face with his chair.
That'd be cool.
Which would have been a crazy finish.
And Cody says, no.
Which would have made sense. Like, to me, if I'm AJ Styles and Cody won't quit, I'd be like, yo, because people have done that before, right? Didn't somebody do that to Edge? Like somebody was going to beat up Beth Phoenix or something?
The Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day. They were going to beat up Beth Phoenix, and Edge said, okay, I quit. Don't beat up Beth Phoenix.
That's my wife.
I thought they were going to pull that off there. When AJ grabbed the chair and went over to Cody's mom, I was like, well, Cody's handcuffed. I mean, what are they going to do here?
Yeah. But
Cody was like, yeah, it should be all right. Should be fine. She was married to Dusty Rhodes. It'll be cool. Yeah. That match was totally nuts. Cody got the keys eventually to the handcuffs, broke free, hit a crossroads, then another crossroads on the chair that looked like it hurt Cody more than AJ.
yeah.
That was the only spot where I was kind of like, oh, that didn't work because it looked way worse for Cody. Took a full bump on that chair. Looked like he cut himself on his back, and he hit his head, too. You could see him go like, as soon as he landed, he's like, oh, shit, that hurt. That was rough. Don't do that again.
But great match.
There was one moment where I was like, well, that's kind of questionable. The fact that he used the STF, won. Like, I feel like he has a better like leg submission that you can believe that he'd win with that. But he needed, I guess, Cody to pass out because that was the whole idea for the STF. Because they wanted to play the whole spot where it's like, oh, he passed out, but he didn't say I quit, so the ref can't ring it. The ref can ring for the bell, though.
Yeah.
And it's happened before in I quit matches. If the guy's out,
Steve Austin.
the ref can just say it's over because the guy's out. But the ref is like apparently a psychopath and is like, oh, who cares? That's the way I looked at that.
I guess it was up to Mama Rhodes at that point to throw in the towel, like Helen Hart.
Yep. I guess so, yeah. She should have had that. That's a great idea, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, they even referenced the Bob Backlund Bret Hart match on commentary. But
I think commentary knew. But
yeah, they knew.
The people who put the match together didn't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, with the mom there during an I Quit match, it's kind of, makes sense.
They should have played. They should have played that. Yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah, well, they don't play old clips like that to set up new matches.
Yeah,
they should.
Not going to show Owen.
It would be cool if they did that. Be like, oh, this I Quit match, they did this. They don't do that very often.
A lot of Owen in that footage. Yeah.
I guess they don't want to show that, or they can't, or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, Cody handcuffed AJ to the ropes, then beat him repeatedly with a steel chair. AJ would not quit, though. And then he went for the stairs, and AJ was in the corner, and then he was like, all right, I quit. I was like, really? The finish of the match was kind of like, okay, I guess Cody was about to kill AJ, so AJ decided to quit. But then Cody kind of looked around and looked kind of confused. I don't know what emotion Cody was trying to portray there, but it was odd. Yeah. It was like an odd reaction to the end of the match for Cody. And then Cody kind of looked at his mom, and he was like, you okay? And he was like, okay. And then he's like, ah! And then he hit AJ with the stairs anyways.
And you didn't see it.
And AJ didn't die or anything. That's what he did. He's like, ah! He went like bananas. He got all mad. But it was a weird reaction there from Cody after winning. It's bizarre.
Like, that could have worked if they just didn't do that spot. The whole idea of, like, I have the steps. You can't go anywhere because you're handcuffed. Like, potentially with the steps, you could like end someone's career, like especially if he threw those steps or something, like if he went Brock like and just went crazy with the steps, you could really hurt someone severely. But the way Cody did it and the way it ended up, it kind of made AJ look really bad in the end, actually.
Yeah, because you think it made AJ look bad, not Cody?
He went through all that stuff. He took the crossroads, took all the chair shots, went to the tables.
Yeah.
And then, he just taps him with the steps and like, oh, that was the worst thing that could have happened to me. I couldn't have let that happen to me. I had to quit for that.
Right.
That made him look bad.
Yeah, because the shot was not that big of a deal.
No.
Unless they sell it like he's dead now, or he got a concussion and he's out for several weeks, Yeah. Like they could be like, oh, it's so terrible that. But WWE, like sometimes moves that will take you out for weeks are just normal moves in a match. It's weird what the guys are scared of. It doesn't, it's got to fit the script. Like when AJ Styles put Cody's head in the chair.
Yeah, that usually is an injury angle.
And then kicked it and broke his trachea or whatever. Most times when they do that in WWE, they do that as like, oh my God, he's going to do that, or referees come and stop you from doing that. Or if they do it, it's like to write you off for several weeks. But AJ did it in a match and Cody was fine.
Yeah.
So. Super Cody.
Well, that's it. But it's hard to tell, like, what is real, what's an impact and what isn't. Like, what's the measure? What's the gauge here?
Yeah, because that was like a signature thing of Kane. He would put people's heads in the chair and stuff.
Yeah.
And like they'd like spit up fake blood or something after. That was like an injury angle storyline. But it was just like a nothing move. Yeah, there's no way to like kind of. Is it AJ weaker? I mean, no, he hit it with force. But it was reacting to it.
It was an odd finish to an excellent match that I think is match of the show. Right, John? That was the best match?
Oh, yeah. No question. But
Yeah,
I
for
also
sure.
didn't like how commentators were putting over the fact where it's like, oh, you can't say I quit. That's like the worst thing you could ever say. So humiliating to say the words I quit. Where it's like, come on, people tap out all the time. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Like it's a bad mentality that they've had in wrestling where it's like, oh, you're weak if you say I quit.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of dumb actually.
Yeah, of course, because, if you know anything about grappling and then you watch professional wrestling, you go, well, wait a second. They're wrestling how many days a week? They have to wrestle all the time, right? So to me, if somebody puts me in an arm bar or a heel hook and, they got me and I have to wrestle tomorrow, I'm going to quit. I'm going to tap so I can wrestle the next day, because if I don't, they're going to break my arm.
Yeah.
You should quit. It's smart to quit when you're in a combat sport and you're about to have, you're about to break your arm or break your leg or whatever. I mean, some guys in MMA don't quit, and I understand why. They try to slip out. They try to pop out. They try to fight with a broken arm and say, fuck it, I'm not going to fight for another 6 months. I'll have time to heal. Let's get this money. But MMA is a different story, and it's not pro wrestling. But I mean, I don't want to break it all down. But in MMA, like, if you win, you double your money.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's like win money or show money and then win money. And it's like you get $10,000 to show up and then $10,000 to win. So you kind of go, well, if I fucking go to sleep, I'll go to sleep, but I'm not going to tap to this choke. Like,
Right.
fuck it. So I get that. But in WWE, like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are we talking about here? But nevertheless, the match was great. And, the finish was a little bit weird. Cody's reaction was a little bit weird. Like, why was he confused? What was that? What was it like?
I think he was supposed to be like going out of control. I think that was the whole like motivation behind that.
It didn't seem to
I'm not
work.
saying it was good.
It wasn't good. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, Cody's trying to act, and it was like, it didn't work, dude. Nobody knew what the hell you were doing.
He needs more coaching on that department.
It was bad. And then he went to the ramp with the belt, and he was, like, celebrating, and then Solo Sikoa showed up, and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa started attacking Cody Rhodes, and then Randy Orton and Kevin Owens ran out and made the save and held Cody up.
That Randy pop was huge.
Yeah. But it does seem like Cody and Solo is probably what's next, right? It looks like we're heading in that direction.
Or a 6-man.
Like a ladder match, maybe?
A 6-man where? At Money in the Bank? Like, if Cody's going to wrestle at Money in the Bank, does he wrestle Solo there? Who's he defend the title against next? Does he wait till SummerSlam to defend against Solo and maybe, do a 6-man tag at Money in the Bank?
When's Money in the Bank exactly? What's the date?
July,
right?
6th? In a few weeks.
So we're not far away.
No. It can't be July 6th. That's crazy. That's really soon. It is July 6th. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so soon.
It's like 2.5 weeks.
They've got 3 weeks of TV before Money in the Bank. It's 3 weeks away.
Well, because we have the Money in the Bank ladder matches, you're probably going to have other people in the Money in the Bank, so probably not a good idea to do the 6-man. But I would do the 6-man on television at least.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure on
do
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's this for Botchamania? We'll talk about Jade Cargill in a second, but whoops.
Yeah, talent name.
Taz.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Production had a bit of a botch there.
Talent's name.
Women's Tag Team Champions, talent name. That's Cody Rhodes.
That's his name now.
You said the belt,
Talent's
right?
name.
Talent name.
That's that is the women tag titles. They got that correct.
Oops.
Wrong match.
We're having a production botch now too. Help me out here.
Are you're stuck on this now?
Yeah, I can't go back.
That's okay. I think people want to see this and live in this moment for a while.
I'm stuck on this now.
It's quite hilarious looking at it. The more I look at it. I mean, we'll see this for the next couple of weeks, I imagine. If you're a big fan of Botchmania.
I don't get it. We're coming back. What is happening? Are we coming back?
Hearing noises. There we go.
No.
No, almost.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey.
My goodness.
Faded.
Something went wrong there.
Botchmania wouldn't let it go.
Yeah, we talk about a production botch and then we have one at the same time.
That's eerie.
That's scary, man. What happened there? WWE's like, oh yeah, pal. I guess it's not. Oh yeah, you think you can make fun of us? Take this. Fucking Triple H.
Focus on the positive.
Yeah, focus on this. 2 words for you. Suck it. Okay, Antoinette. No, it wasn't Antoinette. It was Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat, and the comment was Antoinette. Because I think he was saying, I don't know how to gift memberships, but Antoinette rocks. There you go. Thank you, Doug. Dropping the super chat. Appreciate you. Supporting the team. Gotta support the team. Gotta do it. Why wouldn't you do it?
So, should we talk about Jade?
Yeah, I do want to talk about Damian Priest for 1 second. We didn't mention the move that he did where he jumped over the top rope and then he got his ankle caught in the top and second rope and he was dangling and he kind of hit his head on the apron and he was dangling over the ring there. It was a scary scene. It almost seemed like he did it on purpose, but John, you don't think that was a planned move? That was a botch. He tried to jump over the ropes and fell through them?
Well, it's just like he definitely wasn't supposed to be stuck for that. It was way too long for how he was stuck. And the way Drew had to get him out, they had to flip him back over on the other side again. Clearly wasn't supposed to happen like that. There's no way they would want that to happen because that sucked up so much time. Drew did the best he could with that moment and made the most out of it. But there's no way. And plus, that's way too dangerous. Like just to head drop yourself on the ring apron like that.
Yeah.
There's no way they planned that.
It was quite a move. It was quite a move. And Damian was like, he was selling his ankle, which makes me wonder, like, did he get hurt?
It's not impossible. Those ropes can be very tight, especially when you're not expecting it. It's worse when you're not expecting it.
Do you do Punk and Drew at Money in the Bank, or do you wait to SummerSlam?
SummerSlam, I think, but I mean, you put them in the Money in the Bank match, right? That's a good idea, too.
If Punk is healthy.
If Punk is, I mean, that's another thing, too. He only saw a kick to the nuts, so maybe you're going to have to wait to SummerSlam earliest.
That's it. I don't know if Punk is healthy right
I don't
now.
know either.
I hope he is. It'd be good to see him in the ring, back in action on Raw. It would make the show way more fun, right? God, it'd be good to see CM Punk back in the WWE on a regular basis. Be nice. It would be nice. Okay, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair lost the WWE Women's Tag Team titles in a triple threat match with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. New tag team champions are Alba Fire and Isla Dawn from Scotland, both of them getting a big win in front of their home crowd. Jade fell off the top rope coming into the ring for her hot tag. It was ugly. And then hit a bunch of moves that looked real clunky. Shayna at one point put Jade in a chokehold, and Jade was tapping.
And they were commenting on it.
And the commentator's like, she's tapping. You know, what's going on there? It was weird.
The ref?
What the hell happened there? Why was she tapping?
The ref told her. Well, I think because this happens, it can happen in wrestling. I think it's probably happened when you're trained too. It's like something's a little too tight. You kind of, hey, loosen up a little bit. I think that was her indication, but she did the indication as a clear tap.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, it looked like the referee said, stop tapping.
God.
I don't know if you caught that or not.
Shayna really locked it in.
I feel like Shayna was just real tight on her, and Jade was like tapping to tell her to loosen up, but like, it looked bad that they didn't call for the finish at that point.
I thought they were gonna.
Well, because a lot of people, because commentating saying it, and then you're seeing the tap several times in front of the referee. It looked very awkward. It was a very rough match for Jade. By the way, I don't know if you noticed when Jade came out, it looked like to me a bit of boo-boo face, which they talked about on commentary, that people having boo-boo face, because I guess Corey Graves had it, and I thought it was kind of funny because Jade looked like she had it when she came out. Because she's usually all happy and dancing a little bit. None of that this time around.
Because she knew she was losing.
You think she
Exactly.
looked a little mad because of what was going to happen?
If you look back on all her other entrances with Bianca, she's always happy, dancing a little bit with the music. This, none of that. Did the pose, but that was the bare minimum.
She's not used to losing.
That is true.
AEW,
She didn't take the pinfall.
She was the Goldberg of AEW. She won like 100 matches in a row or whatever, right?
Well, it's the end of their reign, too. That's the big thing. I mean, they didn't really lose, right? But they're not the champions anymore. And I expected getting back, but you never know.
You never know. And I'm sure they weren't promised that they were going to get them back. Jade and Bianca hit their finish on Shayna, and it looked rough. Bianca looked rough, too. Bianca did like a 450 and landed on Jade and Shayna to break up the choke. And that was kind of a rough landing for Bianca, and it looked rough for Shayna and Jade. Like, everybody involved in that was like, oh. It looked painful.
Well, I thought Jay was going to get seriously injured, by the way. I don't know if you caught that when she went for the power bomb and she had a boot and then like fell in the power
she did
bomb.
fall, yeah.
Yes. Well, I
thought
didn't think Jade hit the boot, but I think she power bombed
Alba Fire.
Alba Fire.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to kill Alba Fire because she's like off balance on one leg holding another person up there. She just, like, when you're holding somebody up and you kick somebody else, like, your balance and you're throwing yourself off. And then she kind of lost her balance and then just threw Alba Fire down. I was like, God, you're gonna kill this girl. Like, what are you doing?
Dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah, but then when Isla Dawn grabbed Jade and tossed her for the German suplex, didn't seem like she cared where she landed. She threw her across the ring.
She flung her.
Like, she nailed her with that thing. And then pinned Shayna. 1, 2, 3. So Jade and Bianca hit their finish, and then Isla Dawn came in. Boom. Suplex Jade out of the way. Grabbed Shayna, pinned her. New tag team champions. They were real emotional after the match. It was real nice. They had some friends and family in the front row in their home. Good for them. I'm happy for them. You know, the match was what it was, but it wasn't really their fault. There you have it.
It's a good moment for them. I mean, the way I look at it, this looks like charity beyond belief. Because I don't know about you, I can't think for the life of me what is Dawn and Fire's like finisher.
No,
because they never win. We never see them build up to anything. This came out of absolute nowhere. It just happens to be in their hometown. So let's give them a moment because we need to make the hometown people happy for something. But hey, you're in the right place at the right time.
That's it. You know, right place, right time, right moment. They just decided to do it. I think they looked at the card too and realized we're not putting any Scottish people over. They needed someone. And Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were the right ones at the right time.
It's the only titles that changed hands tonight, too.
Yep. Sami Zayn beat Chad Gable. John, you were the only one to predict Damian Priest would retain, but I was the only one to predict Sami Zayn would retain, and he did.
Yep.
Because Gable's goons did not do what they were supposed to do. Gable had the ref distracted. Maxine didn't hit him with the belt. Didn't hit Sami with the belt. Gable was then yelling at Maxine in the corner. Almost ate Sami's kick, but got out of the way. Hit a rolling German on Sami. Gable then got into Maxine's face. Otis got between them. Kind of was like, stop yelling at Maxine. Just kind of stood there in between them. And then Sami did a dive. And Gable saw the dive coming and kind of pushed Otis in the way so Otis would take it. And then Gable immediately went up to the top rope, and he does a moonsault on Sami and Otis because he doesn't care if he hits Otis too, which I thought was kind of a cool spot. And then Gable had Sami in the ankle lock outside the ring, and Sami kind of like kicked out of it and pushed Gable right into Maxine, so he chop blocked Maxine.
Yeah.
Maxine went down, and all Otis saw was Gable just chop blocking Maxine, and Otis looked pissed at Gable, right? Because I mean, that makes sense, right?
She's wearing a boot.
But right, her other ankle's busted up. Like, why are you attacking Maxine now physically, Chad Gable? But obviously it wasn't his fault, but Otis didn't know that at the time. And he kind of went at Gable, kind of faced off with him, but then decided that, you know, he wasn't going to do anything. And then he went to punch Sami Zayn outside the ring, but Maxine told him to stop. So Otis decided to stop and just carried Maxine away, which distracted Chad Gable. He was yelling at them, and then he turned around, ate the kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami retains the Intercontinental title. So still, Gable can't get his people in line. I wonder if they'll ever decide to heel out with Gable, or they'll just kind of remain in this limbo. It's lasting too long. It was, a lot of drama.
A lot of drama, but I feel like this is the progression the story kind of needed. We needed some sort of finale, I think, and I think we got it with this. It just didn't go the way I thought it would go, but this still works. I feel this is the end of the Alpha Academy. I think on Monday, Chad's going to be like, you guys are done. You guys failed me for the last time. Because Sami said, I don't know if you caught it on commentary, and Sami saying in the rampway, like, that's it. Like, that's your last chance.
Okay. Well, what does that mean for Gable?
I think he's going to be done with Alpha Academy. He's going to go in a new direction. What that direction is, who knows? Get new members in his group or something, but
yeah, he gets those Creed brothers.
Watch out for those Creed brothers.
That's right.
I don't know if that's a step in the right direction. I mean, I think Otis is better than those guys put together, but
yeah,
wait and see.
And then what? Otis on his own?
Super chat.
Or
yeah, that's it. Or it's kind of weird.
I don't think that works. I think the move was to make Gable strong and have them see the light and maybe become Intercontinental Champion at some point. I think the move right now is for Sami to go on and start wrestling some other guy, start feuding with somebody else, defend his title, have Gable, I think you have Otis and the crew leave Gable and then just kind of die in obscurity, and then they realize at a certain point, like, we were better off with Gable.
Yeah.
And then Gable is also kind of struggling, and then they come together and they decide, hey, we're going to cheat, we're going to win, and then they start doing it, and then they circle back to Sami down the road when they figure out that this was the way, and then they beat Sami, they take the title from him, but not after Sami has, a lengthy run here with the Intercontinental title doing a couple other things. I think you could bring it back. I think you could salvage it. Because if you just scrap it and sell it for parts, the parts are going to be useless on their own.
Yeah, Otis is going to do nothing. Gable might be like a jobber to the stars.
Maxine, I mean, she's not wrestling. It's pointless to have them separate.
Super chat.
Pointless. So I would keep them together in some way. But having Gable win the Intercontinental title here, I think, would have been premature because they're not together. I think once you get Otis on the same page with Gable, then you can go there, but they're not there yet. And in the other match that we saw this afternoon, it was Bayley beating Piper Niven. Chelsea Green got involved. The referee banned her from ringside, kicked her out, but then Chelsea Green came back with a lucha mask, and that was apparently okay. I don't know. Bayley hit a crucifix pin to just beat Piper clean. Was what it was. Crowd wasn't so much into Piper as they were into Bayley, it sounded like. It sounded like they, despite the fact that Piper was from there, they were kind of split. It was the only match where the crowd wasn't fully behind the Scot.
Yeah,
I think.
They
right?
love the
Everybody
Bayley
loves
chants.
Bayley. Who doesn't love Bayley? And they like singing for Bayley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Billy, get in my belly. Sorry.
And I think it's fair to say, like, it's nice the video package they had for Piper Niven, but she wasn't built up properly. Like, you couldn't believe in her whatsoever. Like, I don't know about the false finishes she gave, but I'm like, okay, Mission Driver looked nice, but when have you ever won with that move? Like, I didn't believe in anything that she was hitting. So this was a problem.
Yeah. Well, when does she win with any moves?
Super chat.
Exactly, but Bayley hits the Bayley to belly, and it's like, oh, that's a potential finish right there.
Yeah.
And that was a good falsie.
There's many potential finishes for Bayley.
The second rope Bayley to belly she hit.
Piper doesn't have many wins, so it's hard for her to create false finishes because a false finish is somebody hits you with a move that you've seen this person win with many times, and you go, oh, and then they kick out, and you're like, oh, they kicked out. Many people have fallen to that, but no one has fallen to any of Piper's moves ever.
That's unfortunate.
She loses constantly. So you can't create a false finish if you lose all your matches because you never have a finisher. If you don't have a finisher that works, how the hell are you going to create that false finish feeling?
It's true. You gotta build up confidence in the moveset.
Yep. It's that's how wrestling works. Some people don't quite get it, but it's pretty simple. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat saying, "Thank you, Ben." Da 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 da. And then thank you, Johnny. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Oh, I see.
Oh, is that Zelda? Maybe. Da 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 da.
Sounds Zelda.
Yeah, it does sound like it very much. Yeah.
I don't know.
At least the way you're doing it.
All right, fine. God damn. And then Antoinette says, "Thank you, Dave," dropping a super chat. And then Doug Hepburn firing back with "Thank you, Dave." And then Antoinette firing back with "Thank you, Douglas." Wow, it's a super chat war right now going on.
Goodness.
Antoinette and Doug Hepburn
war.
supporting. Yeah, this is the war we like. We don't like real wars where people die. That's not so much fun. Super chat wars is better. So thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel here this afternoon on the Clash at the Castle post-show. So we're giving it, I'm giving it an 8 on 10. You're giving it a 7.5. John, did we ever get your score?
I don't know.
No, you didn't.
Oh, my God. What the hell?
It's okay. I give it a 7 in the end.
Super chat.
Like, I thought it was good, but I feel 5 matches, we're not getting enough for the 5 matches. Even though, like, I felt like we did get a lot in terms of, like, it was 3 hours long. But like you said, just because it's 5 matches doesn't mean you have to drag the matches. And I feel like that's what they do because they don't have enough matches. And I actually felt that hurts the show more than helps the show, especially the later matches. And plus, you start with the best match right away. I felt like everything felt like a letdown a bit afterwards. I saw the best thing right away.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Still a good show.
It was good, though, right? 7. I'm surprised. It's a little low. But,
again, like, because you started on a high and you progressively went down.
Yeah.
Like,
it's usually how highs work.
It starts off very high and then goes very low.
Sometimes they kind of creep up and you go up and then you go down. But usually it's like, and then. Anyways, I get it. It was a solid show though from the WWE. I'm giving it an 8, 7.5, 7 for Big Johnny. A lot of 7s, and 7.5s, a lot of 8s. And we're all unanimous, of course, with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles as the match of the show for WWE's Clash at the Castle. I want to thank Antoinette and Doug Hepburn for dropping the super chats. I'm not sure who's in the lead. I think maybe Doug, but Antoinette gifted memberships, so it's a lot of numbers to crunch. I'm going to thank you both because you're both fantastic. Thank you to Doug. Thank you to Antoinette for supporting the Ringside Report Network over at join.ringsidereport.net. Leor as well, member of the team. Jimmy James, Ryan Katz. My goodness. Doug Hepburn, I said. Patrick Deneau. Angelo Contagonis. Larry Daigle. Larry's in the chat. Larry's on the team. Jay Glasnovic. Jimmy James. Did I say Jimmy James? Leor. My God. There's a lot of names to keep up with. And I thank you all for supporting the channel here on a Saturday afternoon. We will be back. I'll be back Thursday night for the MMA show, Ringside Report MMA, Thursday night at 8 p.m. And then Johnny and I will be back. Johnny and I, and maybe even this guy, will be back Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time for Wrestling Uncensored right after SmackDown in Chicago.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Different reaction for
No
CM
Punk?
Punk.
I don't know if Punk will be there because Punk's a Raw wrestler.
Oh, SmackDown. Sure.
Dude's dark.
SmackDown's in Chicago on Friday, but Raw is in Corpus Christi, Texas. So who knows?
Punk will probably do like a dark segment, I think.
Yeah, you figure he'll show up in Chicago for some reason. They'll find a way. So yes, we will be back on Friday night after SmackDown to recap all the wrestling action that happens this week, and we'll be on the build for WWE's Money in the Bank, so that'll be fun. Another big week in pro wrestling and MMA coming up on the Ringside Report Network. We thank you all for supporting. There's Kyle Salisbury dropping a super chat. Maybe taking the lead for the super chat lead here tonight. Says, always nice to see the familiar names in the chat. Good show, boys. Thank you, Kyle. He's up there for sure. I don't know. Maybe Doug.
It says top.
Is he top? Yeah. Oh, top chat.
It says top.
There you go. Well, thank you, Kyle. And thank you to Antoinette. And thank you to Doug Hepburn and everybody else supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. You are the lifeblood. You are the reason why AJ got a new computer and microphone and everything. Got all sorts of new equipment for AJ. So thank you for supporting the channel. And we'll be back real soon for more right here on the Ringside Report Network. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.